let's move it on to the next story of the night, and that would be from the realm of movies, and that is because Mark Wahlberg. You may know about this movie he's starring in. Just a little franchise, not too big of a budget, kind of an indie type film. I mean, there's a director that I don't think anybody's ever heard of him doing an action movie before. Michael Bay, and that's the Transformers. I mean, if anybody's even heard of it.
Oh yeah, actually, I was seeing just
you've heard of
today that they
Transformers?
have that's one I've heard of. You know what? I think I just happened to flip by it one day in a magazine. I was like, oh look, there's something called Transformers. And that's all I know. No, I was just kidding.
But
No, I was even seeing today though that the release date for the upcoming game this year sometime. So
yeah, yeah, they have games, and actually those games aren't so bad. So if you're a big Transformers fan, you might enjoy some of those games. But yeah, so that I believe Transformers coming out early July, like every Transformers movie does. And at first I thought this was going to be a reboot of the series because that seems to be the trend in Hollywood. Is you go 3 movies and then you reboot the series. But this is actually just going to be a continuation on. This is supposed to take place 4 years after the events of the 3rd movie, after Chicago was invaded and they tried to bring the planet and absorb Earth. And Mark Wahlberg plays a mechanic, and him and his daughter actually find Optimus Prime lying around deactivated somewhere, because apparently that's what happened to Optimus Prime, is he just randomly went to sleep somewhere.
that seems odd. I mean, and this is not a reboot.
This is not a reboot.
He's just lying around because that wasn't in the earlier movies. So
I mean, I remember the end of the 3rd one. I thought they were all just like happy campers. So I mean, maybe I need to go back and watch the end of the 3rd one, but I didn't realize he had just fallen asleep.
I mean, in the cartoon movie, he dies.
Well,
so that would make sense. Exactly. But I don't think that happened did that happen in the 3rd movie? I thought he was still alive.
If we're just totally stupid and we have no memory, go ahead and let us know in comments down below, or hit us up at wordsformyface on Twitter, wordsformyface@gmail.com, or wordsformyface.com, and let us know how stupid we are for not remembering the end of the movie. But yeah, I don't remember any of that, so that's pretty interesting. And the one thing that really excites me, and now, granted, when you go see a Transformer movie, you should know what you're going to watch. You're going to watch robots fight and lots of explosions. That's why Michael Bay is a good director for this, because he's good at explosions. But
honestly, if that's what you're going for, that's what you're getting. I'm satisfied. As long as you understand that's what you're getting into.
If you're going for like a deep, thought-provoking plot or like a love story, then you're going to the wrong movie. But if you're going just to see something blow up, if you like to turn your brain off for a couple hours and just enjoy the ride, this is your type of movie. But the coolest thing about this is they're bringing the Dinobots into the fold. Yeah.
Oh, so is this going to be like Beast Wars?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard all the details. I just know that there will be Dinobots, and I believe in one of the previews, the trailer that came out recently, there were dinosaur bots. It looked like a T-Rex Transformer in there. So if anybody's ever seen the 90s TV show... Yeah, the Beast Wars was that the show, Transformers 3D animation show back in the 90s, mid-90s. It was kind of like a sequel series to the Transformer series. It was actually pretty fun. Even though I heard that the guys that originally made it had never seen Transformers before they started making it, until after they started making the show. That actually might have been better. That might have been better, because then you got such a fresh take on it. And I loved the Transformers Beast Wars. It just was so good, especially when they all upgraded themselves, like in the 2nd or 3rd season. That was like the coolest thing, because I don't know why, but they always outnumber the Autobots. It's like, hey, let's just have 10 times more Decepticons than Autobots. So when Optimus Prime came down as like Super Ape Man, I thought it was pretty cool. And spoiler, they're on Earth the whole time.
Yes. Well, they talk about that in like the first couple episodes. They indicate that they might be on Earth. They show like Stonehenge or something like that. So.
No, I'm pretty sure that's a spoiler. Definitely a spoiler.
No, 2nd episode, Brian.
Second episode. Second episode.
I'm pretty sure that was 2nd episode.
Yeah, I just spoiled the 2nd episode for you, so don't be that mad at me. There's like 3 more seasons after that, so hey, I'm not that bad of a spoiler. But yeah, I can't wait to see what dinosaurs they're going to be, because not only am I a dinosaurs in general fan, like, do you remember that show Dinosaurs? Not the mama. Great show. I mean, come on.
Yes. Surprisingly enough, I was watching that last night. Just happened to be watching it last night. So. And that was just because, I had the kid on my lap, and I was like, well, I can't watch this show, but this should be all right. It's not necessarily all right. There's a lot of exploding children in that show.
And they eat a lot of people in that show. So that actually, like, when you go back as an adult, like, they eat these creatures that talk to them all the time. And you're like, wow, that's kind of creepy.
It's actually a very dark, edgy show.
This is pretty creepy. Like, I always remember the steroids episode from when I was a kid, and, like, Spike grew a whole bunch more spikes, and I was like, man, I want to do steroids if I can grow more spikes. But I don't have any spikes.
Yeah, that's not the message you want to send to those children, but
but that was there. But yeah, so I can't wait for the Dinobots to come out. And so you know when it's going to be. It's going to be around July 4th weekend. It always is. So look forward to that. But let's move it on to the next story. And this is...